Hello, welcome to Game 2 of my match against Namek. At the end of the last match, I said that was a win for player 1. Actually, I was player 2 on that, so I might get to go first in the second game. Taking a look at this kingdom, we have a lot of stuff going on. No village jumps out at me other than Way of the Ox. And maybe Way of the Ox is a good enough village in this kind of kingdom. Especially if you can get livery, gain a bunch of stuff, then you have all these horses, and the horses logically can function as... villages. It's just really tough. And if you play a bridge troll as an ox, you don't get the buy and the attack, but you do get the cost reduction while it's an ox. So that is important to note. So the way we're scoring here is primarily trying to get a province megaturn, I think. It's hard to do without any thinning, and there's not a ton of draw. I think you can make it work. It's hard to get a ton of horses with livery. This just feels really tough to get this engine working. I'm pretty sure I'm opening with a silver here because I want to hit 5 costs and a lot of them. So if you play like Bridge Troll is, if you play, say you play Ranger, you play 2 Rangers as Ox and 2 more to draw. Then you have 3 buys and you've increased your hand size by 1. That feels pretty bad. Wayfarer will be better. If you play 2 Wayfarers, it's basically Village Lab. Or you play Bridge Troll as your village in the Wayfarer, and you get the cost reduction. You still need the plus buys, which have to come from somewhere. If you can get a bunch of horses with livery, but it just feels really tough to get this engine to work. Well, I'm going to open with a silver, I think, no matter what. We'll see if they have 4-3, if that gives me info about what they're doing. They got a livery just to start with. Yeah, so livery gives you 5 money, and you can gives you 3 money, and then you can very likely buy your bridge troll and get the horse as well. So I guess I will follow suit. This is a bad draw, I think. They had a 5-2. Oh, so they saved their coffer. This is all my money is in this hand. Okay. So what's the alternative deck to the bridge troll thing, which I think is really tough to get to work, is I just buy a bunch of bakers now and get the obelisk points and then just hit provinces fairly quickly. I feel like I just lose that always when I play that kind of kingdom to the bridge troll deck. It's not really clear to me, though, how the bridge troll deck functions super reliably, given the no trashing and the limited draw. If you can get the plus buy going early and you can pick up a bunch of 4-cost bakers, that seems really tough to do. I think I just have to buy a bridge troll, though. It's too good to pass up, even if it's not that great on this kingdom. We'll see what they do. Like, if they get a baker here, it tells me they're diverging pretty significantly from what I'm doing. One nice thing you can do with bridge trolls is you get the plus buys, and then you get a bunch of wayfarers for very cheap. And that can populate your wayfarer bridge troll stuff. I think my plan here is just to click on bridge trolls for a while, and if I have collision with livery, figure it out on a case-by-case basis. Most often, though, play the bridge troll as a ox in order to play the livery. If I have the chance to play the horse as an ox, I think I'll probably do that too, to save those in my deck. Something to note on this shuffle is I have exactly 15 cards, so if I don't play the horse's draw, I get through this shuffle cleanly. But I saw both my good actions, so it doesn't matter. So I will play the horse now to trigger a shuffle because I don't have any good cards down in the bottom 5, but you can imagine if I had the horse and the bridge troll in this hand, or say the horse and the livery in this hand, the bridge troll in the next hand, I might want to not play the horse at all if I could hit 5. So let me rephrase that. If this bridge troll was a horse, I might not play the horse and just play the livery by a bridge troll, and then I have a bridge troll at the top of next turn, and then it's coming into play in the next shuffle. I think because of Way of the Ox, you just throw in as many terminals as you can. Like, I really want to play this bridge troll as a Ox here. The best case scenario, I would have drawn the horse together with these, then I could play them both and buy a 4 cost now. So I really want to play this bridge troll now. I can't buy a bridge troll then, so they're going potion. Wow, really? I'm not liking that. I don't think they're going to have enough copper density to make those apothecaries worth the buys and worth the cost of buying the potion, then buying the apothecary, and actually getting to play the apothecary. But I still only have 1 buy, so I'm just going to buy another bridge troll. Now, this is a very good shuffle for me to trigger, obviously, because I don't want to see these coppers in the estates ever again if I can help it. They hit 5 by a bridge troll. I hit 6. I mean, I think I'm just clicking bridge trolls until the pile empties. I said that earlier, but I think that's just what I'm going to do. Hopefully at some point get 2 bridge trolls in play at the same time. I'm starting to build up. Well, I got a horse. I played my horse already. So I should have 1 more horse in this shuffle. So likely I'll be able to trigger a shuffle next turn. I wish there were like pearl divers or something that you could just buy a bunch of them and use them as oxen. And it feels like we're moving along fast enough that the Baker Obelisk money strategy would be too slow here. That's not 100% to me, but feels like it. Here I'm going to ox the horse, play both bridge trolls, and pass turn. They were able to get, yeah, I mean, they drew all the stuff, they drew stuff together correctly to make that potion somewhat worth it. I feel like that was a bit of a high roll draw. Unfortunately, I can't buy a bridge troll here, but I'm just going to play 2 and end my turn. So save the horse and have 2 bridge trolls coming into play with plus buy. So in theory, I should be able to have a pretty nice turn here. One, I guess, reasonably nice thing about the Apothecary is they could buy a copper and then some Wayfarers, and they'll feel slightly less bad about buying a copper. That being said, it still feels terrible to have more coppers in your deck, and I feel like there's other ways to get Wayfarers to be bought for very cheap. I, in fact, probably want to be buying them for 4, which is strange, but you want to buy them at the price point, the best price point you can. Okay. All right, so I've got 8 here. So I could just go double bridge troll ranger, and I think that's what I'm going to do. And I don't get any horses, but not the end of the world. Rangers are best in even increments, so I'm definitely going to get a second bridge troll here. That feels like a very high roll draw to reveal 3 things that they draw all at once. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. It feels like they are not in this game very likely to buy 3 things like that all at once very often. Draw 3 things like that all at once, given that their deck has 20 cards in it or something. So hitting for 3 seems like is going to be the best they're going to do all game. Here I could either get a Ranger or a Baker. Wayfarer has a potion cost. That's exciting. So they got a Baker. I think I want to try to get the Mega Turn going, which prioritizes me towards the Ranger. I think there's a chance that I think there's a chance that I will hit Livery and play it with the 4, and then I might take the 4 cost. Although my goal is not to have 4 costs. Wow, they're really kicking off here. I don't like think my deck is much worse, but I don't know what I've done. Like, I don't feel like I've built a worse deck. They added a couple draw cards, but I don't know if they just aligned their stuff or they added the draw cards early and it paid off, and I should have added more draw cards instead of all the bridge trolls. So this is a spot where I might buy a copper. We'll see. Stuff will cost 2, so I could buy like a baker. So Wayfarers will be very cheap, is what I'm thinking. Wayfarers will cost, bakers will cost 2, Wayfarers. So I could buy a copper, or I could buy like a ranger, and maybe I just want to buy a bunch of rangers here. I think I'm gonna. I feel like I'm definitively behind, but we'll see. I'm also only going to have 2 money, so I won't have, like, I could buy a copper and 4 Wayfarers or something, or a ranger, a Wayfarer. Yeah, that doesn't work. Could be like a baker or a ranger. Probably ranger is just strictly better at this point. So ranger, copper, 2 Wayfarers, something like that I can do. And I'm okay with the 1 copper in exchange for 2 an extra Wayfarer. I also think their next turn's probably going to be pretty bad. Okay, so I could also go baker. I could also just go 2 rangers pass turn. I think I'm going to go for the 2 Wayfarers line just to get a bunch of actions into my deck that I can play. I think I can ox this bridge troll to get the ranger going, because I have another ranger down there and I want to be able to draw with it if possible. This is more what I was thinking of when I saw them buy Apothecary. I'm like, it's going to flip stuff like that. It's going to be kind of annoying. And now they have 2 estates at the top of their deck, although they do have another ranger. They're also not getting bridge troll attacks in me for whatever that's worth. Okay, so I have 3 buys, 4 buys again. So I can go bridge troll, ranger, 2 money. I think I'm just going to go ranger, Wayfarer. Is the extra copper worth it? It's really hard for me to say. I could also just go 2 rangers. End turn. Gotta watch the pile out, although I have more buys than they do with the bridge trolls. I'm just... So Wayfarer is better. And yeah, I think I'm just going to go double ranger. So the question is 1 copper. Let's look at a silver. Silver Wayfarer. Could I have done that last time? Maybe. I guess this is worth it. I'm conflicted, but I feel like there's a decent chance that it's worth it. Yeah, Apothecary is the most expensive ox on this kingdom, for certain. It cost... They got an animal fair as well. Animal fair is going to be pretty good here. Maybe? I don't know. I'm thinking that their terminal limitations are going to be a problem. A big problem with oxing the bridge trolls is that they're not staying in play. So you have to play them multiple times to get the effect you normally get when you only play them once. In theory, though, I play this bridge troll, I draw 5 with the ranger. I'm going to be able to do some awesome stuff on this turn. Dominion's a little bit confusing sometimes. This is below the line, which means if you wave the ox it, you get this bottom effect, but not the top effect. Livery has no line. I think Donald X doesn't like lines anymore. So if you ox the livery, you don't get the horse effect. If this card was printed 4 years ago, there would have been a line there. Probably it's better that this weird line doesn't exist and confuse things, but It is notably like the difference between the card Bridge and the card Highway. Highway does not have a line. Okay, Ox, draw. Now we think. I think I'm going to... I don't have another Ranger down in that bottom part of the deck. Do I? Don't think so. I bought them all this shuffle, so I'm going to Ox this Ranger. No, I must have... I shuffled here and I'd already gotten a Ranger and 2 Wayfarers. So I do have a Ranger and 2 Wayfarers down at the bottom part of that deck. So I think I want to start with my token up. So Ox, flip token, play Bridge Troll, and I have 4. Sorry, I have 3. So I can be crazy here. They've got 1 Bridge Troll coming in. I've got more Bridge Trolls and a big turn coming up. I can go Ranger, Wayfarer. And challenge them to empty the Wayfarer pile, which takes 5 buys. I think they have 5 buys. So I don't want to go Ranger, Wayfarer. I could just get a Ranger Baker, and challenge them to get 6. They need 7 gains to win. That feels risky. I could also go Ranger, Baker, single estate, and to think that I'm going to have a really big turn next turn, and they're not going to have enough gains to beat me. The single estate doesn't do anything. So Baker, Ranger, estate. Yeah, I mean, it prevents them from taking a tie, but I'm kind of okay with the tie. Does it open up an estate pile out? I don't think it does. So I'm going to gain 1 estate here and not feel great about it. Okay, so that's a good start for me. They're unlikely to draw through any of that stuff. And I've got a Bridge Troll coming into play. They did find 2 coppers. Oh, they had a horse and then they found 2 coppers. So maybe they do have a chance of getting a bunch of stuff into play. I don't know, I'm sort of stuck watching here. I don't want to think too much about my turn quite yet. I'm almost certainly going to Ox the Livery, though, and play the Wayfarer as I want to optimize draw. And then I'm going to hopefully draw the Ranger, play something else's Ox, and play another Ranger, and then hopefully get a whole bunch of buys and end the game somehow. I did add a couple of coppers and estates to my deck, but, well, a copper estate and a silver, but also added a bunch of Wayfarers to support that. So they've got an estate and a Wayfarer on top. I'm assuming they don't have any draw cards left, and their Tavern token's not down. So they're Oxing a Bridge Troll, potentially to play 2 Bridge Trolls or two Rangers or something. As a king, you look at the beginning and think, well, oh, my goal is to get a Province Megaturn, and then you sort of forget, well, the Bridge Troll pile empties, and I didn't really think the Ranger pile was going to empty that quickly. I kind of thought we'd go for Wayfarers or something, but I guess with Bridge Troll, Rangers are just super cheap, and they're better in pairs, and once you've got 2, you might as well get 3 and 4, and so on. So they are... I'm not sure what they're doing here. They're just getting a province and a duchy. Not playing those Bridge Trolls as Bridge Trolls feels a little bit bad. I'm not sure why they played this Livery, unless they really wanted to buy Province? No, but if they played the Livery as a Livery, as an Ox, they play the Bridge Troll and the Ranger. They only have 2 money, but Province costs 4, so they could still buy a Province, and then they've got a Bridge Troll coming into play for next turn. Now they don't have any Bridge Trolls coming into play next turn, which means they're going to have a tough time drawing, tough time playing, getting the plus buy, although they have, Rangers and stuff down there, and Wayfarers, so they've got a decent chance of drawing a lot of stuff. I don't think I can get to 7 buys on my turn. I don't think I can get to 6 buys. I thought maybe with the best case they could get to 6. We shall see. Now 6 buys doesn't even do it. I'm going to ox this, play the Wayfarer. I do not want to silver. I'm going to ox this and play the Wayfarer. Oh man, I could have sworn I had a. I could have sworn I had a Ranger down there. Yuck. Okay. Okay, so I've got 6 and provinces cost 6, so I think I just have to buy a province. My next turn is fairly likely to be strong. I have seen, how many stop cards do I have in this deck? 3 silvers, 8 coppers, 4 estates, so it's 15, and I'm looking at 6 of them. So I've got 9 stop cards and 22. I've got 4 rangers, 4 bridge trolls, 5 rangers, 4 bridge trolls, Baker. I've got a lot of stuff down there. My token is on the right side. I don't think I want to touch estates at this point, or anything else. I don't want to lower any of the piles, and I've got a bridge troll coming in and a ton of actions. Again, they flipped over 3 things. I didn't think they'd be able to do that at this stage of the game. We'll see. So every time they have to play a Ranger, they lose a buy. Every time they have to play an Ox, they lose a buy. I am going to be able to get through a significant portion of my deck next turn. Starting with Ox, Baker, play Ranger for +5 cards. See where we go from there, if I get a turn. I don't know how Namek plays against some players. I would take the pauses to mean certain things. Against other players, the pauses just mean they're thinking. Like I would, well, I guess in an Ox Kingdom, you always have to think. You can't just see cantrip, click cantrip. You have to decide if you might want to Ox it. But I'm assuming the fact they played the Baker at all means that they are out of draw. And they just drew likely a horse. So they play the horse, draw the estate, bridge troll. Okay, that was strange. I don't know why you don't play the bridge troll first there and then the Wayfarer before the Baker. Because all they drew was the horse. So they've got 2 Apothecaries. They've got 4 more Rangers, 3 more bridge trolls. So they've got like 7, 8, 9, 10... 11 action cards in the deck. So if they play all of the non-plus buy cards as Oxes, and then all of the plus buy cards as Oxes, they'll have 6 buys. So that's quite what I'm worried about. If I had 1 more turn, I'm very likely to be able to empty out the estate pile my next turn. I've got 2 buys, 3 buys here, 4 buys, 5 buys. So all I need to do is find ability to get 1 more buy out of the rest of this. I still don't think the Apothecaries are good here, although they have been able to use them to some good effect. Okay. So they were out of actions? I'm a little bit confused as to what those 5 cards are. 3 of them are estates. Did they draw 3 estates? Province, Duchy? That would be quite unlucky. So this could be Province Duchy again for them. That means their next hand is super action dense. I'm not quite sure. They didn't play the horse either. They certainly drew the horse. I'm befuddled. Yeah, so the problem with the Megaturn is when your opponent's threatening a pile out, you have to give up the dream of the Megaturn and just score enough. and then you've scored enough so your opponent has to give up their dream of a mega turn and just score enough. And so my pile outs here are 6 estates in province, that's 12 points. That gets me ahead. Or 7 bakers, that's 14 points. Both those take 7 buys. Both those seem equally likely to me. Okay, well, we're going to ox this, play the ranger. Interesting. So I can get 5 bridge trolls. I can get more bridge trolls into play. I think I'm just going to ox both these bridge trolls and draw with the rangers. Okay, so I have 5 buys now. Did I hit my 7 buy goal? So I play this. It's an ox. Play the bridge troll. Play the ranger. I have 7 buys and 6 money. So that is province and 6 estates, and that is 1824. Wow. I don't know what their hand was. It seemed like they maybe had a bit of an unlucky draw that last hand. I was just able to get it. You know, dumping in all those actions, then figuring out which ones to play. I ended up winning the bridge troll split 7-3, which I think was pretty substantial. Also 6-3 in rangers, so I was a lot more of that stuff. They seemed to be moving along better with the apothecaries, but didn't manage to find a pile out there. So I'm pretty happy with that win. I wonder if they could have taken an extra duchy that last turn. But as it is, I'm up 2-0 moving into game 3.